Welcome back to the Panthers.com video mailbag presented by CEENTA. Max Henson here answering your questions as Carolina looks to snap this 4-game losing streak in Cleveland. First question this week, what does Ron Rivera have to do to get this defense to play to their best ability, only a half game out of a playoff spot? I think the big key for Ron Rivera right now, as you know, he's taking over play calling responsibilities for this defense. The big key, if I had to boil it down to one thing, would be getting off the field on third down. Now, Carolina has done a pretty good job recently of creating negative plays, getting themselves into 3rd and long situations. That's 3rd and 7+. And they've even gotten themselves into 3rd and 10s, 3rd and 11s. That's an ideal situation for a defense. And yet, time and time again, opposing offenses are finding a way to either continue drives or make big plays out of those situations. And that just cannot happen. If you're going to have success on defense in this league, or at any level of football, you've got to be able to get off the field on third downs, and you certainly have to take advantage of those 3rd and long situations. Those are good opportunities for a takeaway, or to get potentially aggressive on defense and create something for your team, that positive momentum, either, like I said, in a turnover department, in a sack department. Those type of things just haven't happened right now consistently enough for Carolina, and that needs to change if they're going to get this win streak going. Next question, will the pass rush improve since Eric Washington is running the front 7? Well, that's certainly the hope here. I mean, Eric Washington was arguably the best defensive line coach in the NFL, and he was certainly prepared and ready for this opportunity to step into a defensive coordinator role after the departure of Steve Wilks. Obviously, Carolina's hit a bit of a rough patch right now, and you've seen Ron Rivera make some changes and shake up the coaching staff a little bit. But Eric's expertise and his forte is without a doubt the defensive line, and I would fully expect this D-line to respond to his presence and his hands-on approach this week, throughout the week of practice and going into game day on Sunday. He's going to be trying his darndest to make sure that that front is getting after Baker Mayfield, and that's what sets the table for Carolina's success on defense. We've been talking about it really since the Ron Rivera tenure began. They want to get pressure with that front 4. If there's a man who can get that out of this defensive line right now, I would say it's Eric Washington. We'll see if him being a little more focused on that unit specifically helps things on Sunday. Next question, what happened to the no-huddle offense? It seemed like we shut it down completely. I wouldn't say they've shut it down completely. You're right, they haven't gone to it quite as much as maybe they did in an earlier part in the season. I think a couple factors at play there. Carolina just hasn't been consistent enough offensively for Norv to feel like he can trust that and run the risk of a quick 3 and out. And with things going the way they are in defense as of late too, I think the Panthers are trying to play complementary football. They don't want to put that defense in a difficult spot. I think you also got to look at Cam's throwing shoulder right now. He's obviously dealing with soreness and pain. We've been talking about that a lot this week. So I think all those factors are coming into play and kind of making this offense run the way it's being run so far. I think there's still an opportunity to see some no-huddle, but I think they'd like to establish it more in the traditional sense, get that run game going. Christian McCaffrey, talk about a bright spot right now. He's been the bright spot for Carolina. Try to lean on him a little bit and eat some of that clock. I think that's the formula for success right now for Carolina. And our last question, why is Captain playing more than Shaq when it appears teams are running the ball all over us? Yeah, I wouldn't agree with that. The teams are not running the ball all over Carolina right now. You look at last week against Tampa Bay, the Bucs ran it 25 times at a 3.8 yard per carry average. I mean, you can certainly live with that as a defense. Look at that Seahawks game. Seahawks #1 rush offense in the NFL. They were bottled up pretty well by that Carolina front and that defense. They did a bang-up job against the run. It's not that aspect of the game. I think it's more in the passing game where Carolina has to get some things sorted out. It's those big plays over the top. It's penalties that are being thrown for some pass interferences that have been huge. Look no further than that Tampa Bay game for a great example of a pass interference that put the Bucs at the 1 yard line. So I think that's the area really Carolina has to hone in on. The run defense has been better, but they've got to be better against the pass, and that starts against Baker and the Browns.